Chelsea Wynn, and this is The Ironic Pod, where two complete strangers wound up being purpose mates, business partners, and best friends in the matter of months.
We like to have real-life conversations about our healing journey and how we fell into alignment with our purpose.
Good job.
Thanks.
We did run it a couple times.
Just, she forgot her name.
Don't call me out like that. You forgot a few times.
I forgot my name?
Well, maybe not your name. I forget my name because it's my first line.
That was our first time getting the whole thing through. We didn't even try to, actually do the whole thing because we stopped at you not saying your name.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So we got it on one track.
My name's Nika Jane Commodore.
And and this is All Things Sue.
That's not funny.
What's the word?
You know what? We sat here for a while and I saw it on the paper, but I still didn't think about it. What do you know? What your word is?
Yeah, I had to, I study on the way home or here.
Oh.
I'll be driving what's the word? And then,
oh, I'd be unprepared then, child, because I don't even know.
I don't do that. I usually know it in the moment. Okay.
Oh, so that whole thing was a lie.
It was a tale.
Okay, what's the word? You've been listening to a song or a podcast or a sermon?
I've been listening to a lot of sermons lately.
Hallelujah.
One that really stuck out was Sarah Jakes.
I think that you said her last week too. Sarah been getting you together.
She always does that.
Period. Okay.
What is it called? Love Your Life or something like that. And she basically talked about what we talk about, which is basically kind of just falling in love with the process and enjoying the journey as you're walking it through. And, she be doing that thing where she be like, you know what I'm talking about. She be getting all ebonics, and I love it. So she's speaking to me this week.
That's good. And no songs?
I listen to the same stuff all the time.
Definitely.
I have a whole in love playlist for whenever I found my husband.
Period.
Sometimes I'll be driving I think I want to feel like I'm in love today. And I'll put it on. And it's every day. I put it on every day.
Okay, that makes sense. I feel like we all kind of have one. Or, yeah, when you just want to be in the mood for love.
Whomever it is.
For whomever it is. True. What's my word? I don't even know. I've been listening to a lot of sermons too. Mainly PMJ, of course. I always go to PMJ. I did watch the Crazy Faith episode again, and it was crazy because I had already had it open. You know how when you watch a video on YouTube and then you click back on it, it's like where you left off, and it was on the chair part. Do you remember the chair part?
We were just talking about that yesterday.
That's probably why, because I had just seen it. I had just watched it. But I had watched the chair part. You have to go see the episode. It's Crazy Faith, or is it Crazy? There's a Crazier.
Yeah, but that was the first one.
Okay, well, Crazy Faith, Mike Todd, that is by far the best episode. I don't know.
That whole series is fire.
Yeah.
It goes through the different stages of your
faith. Yeah. I've seen the whole series, but that one, I don't know what it is about just that one particular episode.
It makes it so plain.
Yeah.
It makes it so simple. You're like, I didn't have faith. Just because you put God's name on it don't mean you have faith.
Yeah.
A bar.
I think you sent me that sermon today where he was talking about how your faith feels crazy or it feels big because you're around small faith people, or he said something similar to that. And the sermon you sent me today.
We always listen to the same ones, but the same word don't stick out. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because sometimes you be telling me and I'm like, huh? Where'd you get that at? Let me run that back.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to PMJ. I did listen to Mike Todd. Podcasts, I really haven't.
I haven't been in podcast mood lately.
Yeah, me neither. Which is surprising. I've been listening to a lot of music though. Actually, I was on Megan Ashley Zoom last night. It was so good. Y'all gotta get in her close friends if you are not in there. She's talking about her son Caleb with autism. Yo, we were on that call for hours. Everybody was in tears. I actually surprisingly wasn't crying or nothing. But that's surprising because I'm usually crying. But everybody was in tears. It was really good. But she played this one song to begin with, and she was like, I've had this song on repeat. It's just like a nice peaceful song, and everybody wanted the link, and so I've been listening to that all day. But it's like a long title. I couldn't even tell you what the name is. I gotta send it to you though, because you would like it. All right, what are we talking about today?
Listen, last week we got into how the healing process and the healing journey in general ain't for the weak, and you have to have thick skin to get through it, to face a lot of your traumas and everything like that. Well, now we're going to flip the script. Ugh. I don't know how either one of us about to do it, honestly. However, we're talking about, you want me to do what? That's the title of this episode, as you know, because you just clicked on it.
You want me to do what?
You want me to do what? And so basically the concept, and we don't usually explain it, but we got to inch into this because not everybody's on the same faith level as us. When you get into a season of alignment, you get to a place of not questioning things.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't make things not crazy.
Yeah.
I heard post a video on TikTok. You want me to do what? Start a podcast. Yeah. You want me to do what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And now we're 5 weeks in. We're 5 weeks deep.
That's crazy.
This isn't crazy no more.
Yeah.
It's just beginning.
It's crazy that it's not crazy. Was that you that said that?
I think that's freaking me. That's what's freaking me out.
That freaks me out.
And that's what you're going to talk about. So we're healed now.
Yeah.
Now what?
What do you do after you feel like you've healed? I mean, you never fully get healed when we know that. But once you reach that point where it's like, wait, life is fun now, what do you really do? Not even fun, but like not as like, you're not searching for.
You meant that.
I didn't mean that.
Because how I see it, I don't think I've ever seen it in my family.
Yeah.
Someone get to a place where they are genuinely having fun with life.
Yeah. Oof.
To be the first.
To be the first.
Of many.
I have found that I do not like that. I mean, I knew I didn't like to be a leader. I like to be a leader when I have guidelines. Like, I've been a manager, you know, of like a store or something. Like, I've been in leadership positions. But I've never been like, I'm the first one to do it. I don't have no guidelines to go off of. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just fate. I don't know what else to tell y'all.
And literally, we unlearn the things that we were meant to unlearn.
Yeah.
So when you don't have your base foundation that you started out with, now what?
Right. Yeah. And when nobody understands.
Nobody understands. You sound crazy. Nothing looks like how you saying.
Then you feel crazy.
But you feel even crazier not doing it.
Yeah, that's what you're stuck.
You're stuck.
But it's like I sit there and I'm like, wait, I really have to do this? Like me? Like I'm supposed to do this. And why would I be chosen to do this? Because I'm not about to be very good at this. Like I go through all these things in my head still. Like it's still something that I have to work through all the time. Like questioning myself or being like, is the new version of me going to be able to show up when I sit at this table? Or is it going to be like, are my insecurities going to constantly get in the way of everything, every aspect?
I'm sure I felt that at one point, but I remember the specific moment I was like, I'm no longer who I was.
Yeah.
And I was driving, coming from my grandma's.
Yeah.
Literally just looking at mountains and everything, and I remember saying, I'm no longer her.
Yeah.
But that was just last year. But it's like I have amnesia from that now, which I think is the point. And now it's funny because I literally watched the sermon this week, I think yesterday actually, that says, no looking back, which is deep.
Yeah.
That we're even talking about this on this episode.
Yeah.
But basically, it was like, you made it to this. No, it was Shantia that said it. It was a video. Shantia said it yesterday. She said, you made it to this point. There's no looking back. You can only jump forward.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm too deep. I'm too deep to turn around.
Yeah. And that's exciting, but it's one of those bittersweet feelings. So for me, it is like, it's very exciting, but it's also very, holy crap. Like, you don't have no other choice. There's no backup plan. There's no plan B. There's no like, oh, we'll do this if this doesn't work out. Like, no, like you have no choice but to do it. There is no option.
It's overwhelming.
For sure. There's a lot of pressure.
And I think I felt myself, specifically this last week or so, mourning that. Mourning. Like, literally in the last 4 weeks alone, I've, like, grown.
Yeah.
So, mourning who I thought I was, even in a place of healedness. I thought I was healed at that point. I'm like, you still have some reservations about something.
For sure.
But so that kind of makes me think of like the unhealed me versus the healed me. And I know we were talking a little bit off camera about when I was unhealed, the unknown seemed like a daunting abyss.
Yeah.
It seemed like a black hole that I would never come out of. I would never see light again.
Right.
As a healed me, the unknown's excited.
Yeah.
As a healed me, the unknown is like, shoot, if we have this right now and you already showed me this and what we doing next.
Right.
I didn't even see a podcast in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see myself putting videos on TikTok.
Right.
Never see myself doing all that. But it's like the more confirmation I get that I was in the right place, now I'm just like, all right,
yeah. Yeah. I didn't see myself doing anything that I'm doing now. I mean, obviously the podcast, but even just on like a mental note, I never would have saw myself with so much like mental clarity or like being so self-aware, because I would have swore that I was the person that I was. Like when I was, I don't know what you call it, just like when I was in that deep dark place, I thought that that's who I was. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even necessarily feel lost. I felt like that's me. But now, like you said, I know that that version of me is gone. But I think that, I forget when it was. It was recently. You know, all our days weren't together. But when I went to the storage unit and I was crying on TikTok about how that doesn't feel like me anymore. Like none of that stuff seems like me, you know. And I felt like I was like grieving who I was, you know, because it all of the things started adding up. Like my mentality is different, my lifestyle is different. Now that all this old stuff doesn't even look like my stuff. Like she's completely gone, you know what I'm saying? And I had to go through like that whole grieving. It was like, oh my gosh, wait, I kind of miss her sometimes.
Yeah. A funny thing, I was just talking to my cousin Audie about how I'll go back and watch my TikTok videos and it doesn't feel like it's me.
Yeah.
I watch myself and I'm like, whoever is talking right here knows her stuff, but it's like I haven't had the realization yet.
Yeah.
Like I know it's there, I'm aware of it, but I haven't had that realization where I'm like, oh, this is for life. Which reminds me, I always talk about when I have my to-do list that I'll write whatever thought pops up in my mind. And today was welcome to your new. You know, and it's like this is going to be my reality for like I could never go back to a person who had no hope.
Yeah,
I could never go back to a person that had no faith or knew God or was led by God. I can never go back to a person who felt so bad about myself.
Right.
You know, like I can never go. I can be disappointed.
Yeah,
that's an easy shake off.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. In the grand scheme of things, the problems that I run into now don't feel like boulders that are going to take me out. They feel like pebbles. You know, you feel it for a second, but you get over it faster.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel as permanent. It feels more of like a lesson. Or now I feel like mentally I can be like, okay, what do I need to get out of this? What is this here for? It doesn't feel like this is happening to me. Like, oh my gosh, this is gonna bring me down. Or this is gonna. I'm like, dang, okay, come on. How long is this about to last? Like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think the mental space that I'm at, and I'm realizing
right this second, this is hitting me.
Is I'm in a place in my season right now where it's like, all right, where do you need me to be? All right, who do you need me to talk to?
Yeah.
All right, what do you need me to say?
Yeah.
You know, it's no longer like me trying to figure out my purpose. I already know it.
Yeah.
I'm walking in it.
Yeah.
I am the first in my family to walk in purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's scary. And I think that's what a lot of people don't talk about, or maybe I just didn't hear enough about it, because everybody is so focused on you need to find your purpose, you need to figure out why you're here. I don't ever hear nobody talking about what happens after that. Like what fears come with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a whole new set of, okay, yeah, I'm in my purpose, but what now?
You know how you don't have a paved way for
you. Yeah. I don't have no guidelines. Where's the book at? Nobody told me what to do once I get to this point.
And it literally feels like exactly what I said last week about faith being about being in a dark room and only having a flashlight.
Yep.
You can only move when you get the puzzle piece.
Yeah.
It's like a game of Monopoly or life.
Yeah.
It's a game of life. Look at that.
Yeah. It's one little baby step at a time, and you don't know where the next step is about to take you. It's just that's why it's like it's a whole different set of fears, but fear is still there. Like the fear of everything never leaves. That's why looking back, I'm like, why the hell was I so content being right there?
Yeah.
Because I was scared of something. I was scared of leveling up or scared of whatever. But you're still scared. You're gonna be scared regardless. You know what I'm saying? You might as well take the scared route that has some type of good.
That reminded me of you. I think it was in episode 3, maybe. Taking L's and falling in accidental alignment or whatever it's called. And you said specifically, I no longer have the fear of failure. I have the fear of success.
Yeah.
And like, to an extent, I can feel that. However, I think because I know where my roots are, it's more just the imposter syndrome that gets in my head. But success sounds like a cakewalk to me now, because I never saw myself getting this far in life. Having an actual career that I'm passionate about, where I get to walk out my purpose. Having a platform where I can fill people up. Writing books where I can use my life experience to teach others. That was never in my cards for myself. My cards were all jokers.
Right. See, and I found that a lot in daily things, like, for example, with TikTok, because that's just the main example I can use. When I was starting out, I was scared to get certain numbers. I'm like, dang, is anybody going to view my video? I was scared of failure. I was scared of failing. Once you start hitting those numbers, you now have to maintain that. So it's like you see now when you're getting, people commenting on your videos, you now have to respond. You're no longer scared of like, oh, I'm not going to get responses. You got the responses. Now you have to worry about, okay, I was always so nervous to post more. Like, so now I have to dig deep into these things, and now you're getting thousands and multiple thousands of comments and things, and you have to maintain that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, I get scared to like, okay, you're at 50,000. Like when you really think about the amount of people that are watching you open up and be vulnerable, I feel like that, and leveling up from there. Like, okay, I'm cool at 50,000. Let me get my mindset, right with this. I'm gonna take that in and accept that. Now 100,000, you know what I'm saying? Like knowing that every level comes with new things, because I'm scared that I know that I can make it. You know what I'm saying? I know that I can succeed, but can I maintain that? I've never been tested in that area. I know I can maintain being unhappy or maintain things in a negative aspect, but I've never walked so heavily in my purpose and so heavily in something that brings me so much fulfillment, and then had to maintain that. So it's more so like the unknown of success. Like, will I be fulfilled when I get there? Or when I hit 100K, will I still be searching for 200K? Like, will it always be more? Because my videos, not to go on a rampage, but my videos started at 200 views. I remember that number so specifically, because every time I hit 200 views, I would challenge myself to post again. Like every single time you got 200 views, post again. And at first, it would take me like a day or so, to get 200 views. Well, then eventually it started taking like half a day, 8 hours. Now I post a video in an hour, it's 200 views. Once I hit that point, like 200 views in an hour, I'm like, okay, now you have to change your goals. Now you have to maintain this. You know what I'm saying? Now you get thousands of views in an hour, and it's like, I have to make sure that my mental health can keep up with myself, so that depression don't take over. And now I got 50,000 people counting on me to post or looking for me to post or whatever, So just the fear of anything. You have fear of everything, but it was fear of failure, and now it's very much fear of maintaining success.
Also, was talking about having faith instead of hope, and what that looks like. Because I feel like in an unhealed season, I was always destination minded, and so I was always hoping that this would work out. I would hope that this would work in my favor. I would always hope.
Yeah.
Now I'm so strong in my faith, where it's like I'm literally looking for my cues, and I've been using that a lot lately. But it's like, well, if your name's on it,
yeah,
like I can't fail,
right?
And that's been a new season of navigation for me, because I'm so used to letting myself down with goals that I had or whatever the case may be, that when I'm in a season where it's like, all right, let's roll, like it's just it's very different. It's very different, and it's I feel like a lot of people don't get a lot of love when they are in this in between season like this.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's nice to have a place where people can watch the growth in our vulnerability.
Yeah.
As we're also trying to figure things out. Because I feel like whether it's our book or it's us speaking on TikTok or whatever platform, we sound like the experts, right?
Yeah.
But when you can real life see, like, I don't know what season I'm in. I just go one step by step.
Yeah.
I literally just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
That's an alignment, because at the end of the day, that's an assignment to me. And if I don't do it, you get an automatic F, right?
Yeah.
I've failed too much up until this point to get another F.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to miss that mark.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I'm not human and I might not make mistakes. But the thing is, my intention in my heart, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm never going back there.
Right. No, exactly. And that's why I was nervous for this episode. We talked about this before. I was nervous for this one, but I feel like that's because we are catching up to where we are in our stories right now. You know, when I'm talking on TikTok, when we're talking to people, we're opening up about things from our past. You know, this is, even if it was last week, we're such different individuals every day. I feel like we grow more and more. So I'm comfortable talking about stuff that I went through last year, you know, because I clearly made it through that. It's more uncomfortable to talk about stuff that's happening right this second. Like, now we're at the point where this is now. Like, right this second. I'm scared as hell. No.
Right. And to bounce off of that, I kind of think, so, like, eventually I will share, like, my actual journey and walk, I know, but as of right now, I'm not. So, but basically over the last few years of my life, I've been speaking to individuals and telling them my faith journey. And that included things that I've went through and experienced but learned from. That included things as they were unfolding. So some of the things that unfolded had me looking like a freaking clown. You know what I'm saying? And when your faith gets tested by your surroundings to that point, where you're getting everybody's opinion, even if you didn't ask. If you're seeing things like, well, I know this, and it's like, but the receipts here say something different. I feel like in this season, and this is another realization I'm having right now, is that's triggering some of the hurt that I had in that season. But the thing is, I'm at the end of that season. Yeah, I'm literally seeing the manifestations of a lot of the things that I've heard in that season. Yeah. So to be triggered constantly, because, like, I can feel it, I can acknowledge that I'm in a new place in my life where, like, it's only up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even the downs aren't downs. Yeah. You might stagger like Flappy Bird, but you're gonna be up. Right. But knowing and having that security is kind of like, that's my safety net. But I'm still working through the emotions of being vulnerable with over hundreds of people. Yeah. About some stuff that had me looking silly. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. That hurt. It hurt, and that was during my isolation season. So I had no one to go to but God. Right. Literally. And it's like, yo, God, you got me out here looking silly in your name. He's like, exactly, it's in my name. Ooh. How did you handle that? Like, what was your thought process going through that? Throughout the whole process? Or yeah, like you're saying that your faith got tested. Yeah. And you felt like you looked crazy and people were questioning you. Yeah. I knew the moment that I looked silly and I was still told to continue telling the story, that it was different. It wasn't me. It wasn't in my hands anymore. So with me literally giving up to a point where it's like, yo, what is this? You know, like, wait, so let me make sure I understand as a listener without really understanding. You had a situation in your life where you told people, so people knew about God doing something. Okay. And then it didn't happen. So they were questioning your faith. Yeah, questioning my faith, questioning my God, my character, all of that. Got you. Okay. And they thought you were crazy, or you just felt crazy, or the whole thing was just crazy. The whole thing was crazy. I mean, you know, there's always whispers. It never meant it to me. Yeah. Yeah. And God told you to keep telling that? He told me to keep telling that story. So how do you do that? How do you literally get a word? Yeah. Like, that's when you have to be relentless about your vision no matter what. Yeah. because if I'm seeing outcomes just like he told me,
Yeah.
after I still look silly,
Uh-huh.
that's when you literally become dead to yourself. You know, and I don't want to get too spiritual because, well, this is going to find the right people, honestly.
Yeah.
But there's going to be things when you're walking with God or just walking in this journey called life where it tests your belief in yourself and it tests your belief in if you're even in the right place.
Yeah.
But when you find consistent alignment, stuff that you can't make up.
Yeah.
You know, like
Gosh,
when you start meeting things that you can't make up, and now people are also starting to see it too. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You know, my hands are tied. So it's either go back to an unhappy version of myself who is always complacent and being unhappy,
right,
and depressed and just not having any kind of purpose, or it's going to this unknown season where I don't know what the hell is about to happen.
Yeah.
But I know that the track record shows that I'm going in the right direction.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's really all you can do. I had, obviously, we similar paths a lot. We go through similar things at the same time, it seems like. But right now, I feel like I'm experiencing something where I'm being questioned by those close to me as to why I would be making a big move that I'm planning on making. And I don't have the answer. You know, like, we don't have the answer. You know, I can give, that's what I do. I can come up with an answer on the spot if you need me to, you know, if you want me to make something up, but I genuinely don't have an answer that would seem logical as to why I would be making any type of moves that I'm, you know, that we're planning on making. And I feel like that's where my faith not even was tested, as in I questioned it, but I was like, oh, okay, I can see how that's like a low-key test. Not gonna hurt at all, you know what I'm saying? But I can see that because on paper, that don't make no sense. You know, that does not make sense. And if anything, I feel like that proves my faith to myself. Maybe, you know, I needed that proof to myself because it's like that I didn't question at all.
Yeah.
That didn't make me even for 1 second question, even though I don't know the answer.
Yeah. I do appreciate that season that I was just referring to, kind of going along with that, just because when your faith has been shaken to the place where you don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at the lowest. I got to a place where I was cussing God out.
Yeah.
That's taboo in so many cultures.
Yeah.
You don't talk to God like that. Listen, he made me mad.
Yeah.
And I'll let him know it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if he knows your thoughts, then why are you hiding it?
That's true.
Why are you hiding it? To save face for church?
Yeah. To
save face for others? He already knows everything. So when I came to him with my frustration, you know, he told me the very next day, go tell that person that story. Like, why would you continue having me tell and make, like, this is poking a wound that you created.
Yeah.
And I just started trusting you. And now I'm in a season where I'm like, I'll do that all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
that's hard.
That was a seed planted. And the thing that he's been telling me lately is every seed you planted is going to have a harvest.
Yeah.
Y'all know how many people I pour into? Not even to get anything back. Some people don't even respond.
Yeah.
You know, but I still do it because I know it's planting a seed. It's not my job to water it.
It's planting a seed and it's not my job to water it. That was a bar.
It's a different season. I don't even want to say it's weird because, like, I love every second of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's terrifying.
It's very scary, especially because we're so aligned and so connected. It is scary. I can't wait to do like the live shows and stuff so we can really open up about like a lot of the actualities of it all, like the details. It's so wild. Like, I'll be sitting there like, it's not even crazy as in it's like hard to believe. It's crazy as in like, what?
And the timeline.
Yeah.
We've been on go since we met.
Yeah.
Literally.
We be having nights where we are both just shook. Like, what? Like, that lines up like that? Or that happened like that? Or you too?
Or like, one of us will see something, like, envision something or something, and be like, I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Just thinking that.
And it's not like common thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like a very oddly specific thing.
It's crazy.
You can't make it up.
You can't make it up.
You meet someone, in 6 months you have a whole business with them.
Yeah.
And moving out of state.
Ooh, you just dropped that bar.
How ironic life is, huh?
She said, and moving out of state.
That's wild.
The wild part of it all is not questioning it. Like, I am not somebody to make, and I can only speak for myself, I am not somebody that would make rational decisions, especially with somebody I don't know. I don't trust nobody. Are you crazy? So for me, the craziest part or the wildest part has been the fact that I haven't questioned. Like, when you say something and I feel it, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sit there like, oh my gosh, okay, what if this happened? And what if this, like, obviously you have the what ifs and the fears that come along with it, but they're not louder than the, you know what I'm saying?
Excitement.
Yes, exactly.
It's not louder than the excitement of the possibility.
Yes. It's more of a what if as in, like, let's prepare, you know, if need be, but it's not a what if as if, oh, you should really deeply think about this because it could stop you from going. Like, no, I'm not thinking like that.
I mean, we were just talking about something and was like, oh, well, like it was basically like a big vision where we're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be my house, that's gonna be your house, and it's like, bro, we don't even have 16th of what this house cost.
Oh no!
But it's like when you're in a connection that is first off accelerating like this, one, we don't have enough time to question it.
No,
we have not. You said you want to write a book, and next thing I know, we're dropping it that following Monday.
Yeah.
It was Thursday. The week was over.
Yeah. Were you freaking out when I asked you to do that?
No. Oh. I just did it.
I was curious. I didn't even worry. I was like, we're both writers. I don't know why I got this
it's
idea
like
to do this.
Whenever we get a puzzle piece, it's like a...
yeah, it's like I knew I was looking for that. I needed that.
Right there. Of course, we're both writers. Why wouldn't we drop a book? But the thing is, I feel like we've been having a lot of foreshadowing in a sense. Like, we'll like have a conversation the week before, and the following week, it's a confirmation. It's confirmed.
Yeah. Yep. Happened in February. I remember that one. And with the podcast. Yeah. And we were like, something's about this. Something. That's always it. Something's about the. I feel something.
I don't know what's going on, but something about this.
Something about this. It's always been good stuff, though. I like when we get that feeling because it's always been.
And it's a different thing, especially coming from this walk that I'm coming out of. When you start to see other people see it.
Yeah.
You know, like when they're like, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because first off, I thought I was crazy.
Me too.
Still do sometimes.
Me too.
And then we confirm for each other, and we'd be like, no, we ain't crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be crazy.
Yeah.
They crazier.
Yeah. And we mentioned that kind of, I don't think we went into it. It's scary when you realize that you're actually not crazy. You know, because I really thought I was crazy. And I brought this up, I don't know what episode it was, when I said I feel at one point I thought I was dying. Like, I didn't go into it because I realized how crazy I sounded when I said it. But I think I really meant that. Like, there was a point I really thought that I was like, is this like is this the end for me? Like, why am I seeing all these big things and like visioning all these weird things? Like, something seemed very off to me. I'm like sitting outside in the freaking grass and nature and stuff with a blanket. Like, it just seemed creepy. Like, am I about to die or something really wrong? And I still feel sometimes like, am I batshit crazy? And I've said that to you before. I'm like, hey, if I'm crazy, you crazy. I guess we both crazy. We might as well just ride out the crazy then, but that's what's hard about having faith. It doesn't always make sense.
It never makes sense.
Sometimes.
There is never where you're like, I think he's going to do this, and then it happens like that.
Sometimes there's some, not necessarily, but there's some little pieces that it was like when we say, oh, that was comical, like we knew that was like, that's funny because we knew that low-key was coming, or we can see how he would, or we could see how God would plan it out that way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that was a good one. That was funny.
In my book, I actually refer to that as stackable moments. So it's like you're constantly building to this life that you want.
Yeah.
And so you're literally getting a brick by brick.
Yeah.
And it's always stacking on top of something. I don't think any information you get is coincidence. And I've been proving that too, because like all these different pieces seem like they're random pieces that are stacking off of each other. And the final result that I expected. Yeah. And so
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's
getting pieces is the funnest part.
Getting pieces with someone is fun.
That it is fun doing.
Cause like, I mean, like I've described this in the first episode. I think when you're talking to someone who doesn't see the vision, you have to give the backstory.
Yeah.
You gotta explain how you got to it. You gotta say what the vision is, and then you gotta try to convince them.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Whereas someone who gets it,
Yeah.
you just be like, "Hey, this just happened. Yo, yeah, that makes sense." Because
Yeah.
you know, like it's like
Yeah.
connecting the dots, literally.
Yeah, but yeah, that's been nice. Feeling like I'm so set in what I see and what I know for my life and my purpose and whatnot, and I don't have to try to convince you to see that. Like, no, this does make sense. I swear. Like, nah.
And that's not to mistake the feeling that when you're walking with God, you don't need validation.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you have a secure validation in yourself, it allows the space for you to allow people to validate you, but in a healthy way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like, hey, if I say like, man, my intuition's telling me this, and this, and you'd be like, oh, that makes sense because,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that confirms for me, or that validates, like, okay, you are on track because someone is able to see it too.
Right.
Which is interesting. That's an interesting thing. I've never had that.
Yeah. And it is nice, but the validation for me, it's not needed like it used to be. Like it's the same, but it's different, right? That's what we were talking about. I used to need motivation. The validation was my why.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, the validation is more like, okay, that was a little, boost of motivation for me there. Thank you. Or a little bit of confirmation or a little bit of something, but it's not like
a fulfilled, like you don't have to be filled by it.
Right. And it's not a need. Like I don't need that in order to keep going or need that in order for me to believe. Like that's nice that you believe with me. I would believe regardless, where it wasn't like that before at all.
Life is weird. I've been saying that like every day.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's getting weirder.
And wild. It's wild. Life is wild.
That's the exact same. When I was talking to Autumn before I came here, she was like, we both said wild at the same time. Because she's literally seen everything I've been through because we live together.
Yeah.
Has seen everything. Has heard every cry. Everything.
Yeah.
So for her to be seeing the stackable moments stack up to something.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, it's wild.
Yeah. Whew. It's a lot. It'll be cool to watch it all unfold, though.
Yeah. And we're always going to be in this sense of euphoric, unknown, that's not going to be failure. Yeah. That's exciting. I think every single thing, including all the trauma I've been through, all the lessons I've had to learn from, all the unhealing and healing and relearning and unlearning, all of that stuff to get to this, worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's just like insane how much I just want other people to see that.
Yeah, I know.
Like I want it. It's like I can feel it for them.
Yeah.
And if I could just like tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And it just like leave my fingertips.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Like it's. But that's why we have a platform.
That's true. No, I see more now why people not push people to see, but I used to hate that. It used to make me so uncomfortable. When I'm like, why are you talking positive all the time? Like, shut up. Like, it just used to irritate me. But now I see it more. I'm like, okay.
When you get it, you get it.
Yeah. And when you do get it, I feel like it comes with certainty. That's what it didn't come with before. Yeah. There was always this, like, uncertainty. I didn't know where I was going, where I was going to end up, what was going on. Now it's like, I know exactly where I'm going. Not as in it'll never get bigger than that, because, come on now, we can only see what we see. God has way more planned than that. But I know that I'm not going backwards. You know what I'm saying? I know for certain there's nowhere to go but what I already see, and what I already see is crazy, and I know he has nothing but, nothing else less than what I can already see. And so it comes with that. It comes with certainty, and that's great. That's motivating.
Can I just point out the irony that when you think you have control of your life, you're uncertain.
Yeah.
And when you realize you have zero control in your life,
you
get certain.
Yeah.
Certain.
Yeah. Well, because for me, it's been easier to trust God than it was to trust myself.
Yeah.
Without God, there was that uncertainty because I was in control of what happened, and I didn't know how to be in control of me. Nowadays, it's like I trust God to bring me where I have more certainty in God than me.
I am his little sin.
You just tell me where to go. I don't want to tell me where to go.
Have a house in my head.
Yeah.
Over my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And I trust that he knows the desires of my heart more than I knew back then. Obviously, when you start healing, you get that level of certainty within yourself. But before I started healing or started getting to know myself, I did not genuinely know what I wanted. Like, I didn't know the desires of my heart. That's why we sit around crying that we're not getting the desires of our heart that we're praying for. But you only know what you know right this second. You don't even know what you actually genuinely want in life. You only know what you want in that season. God knows what I want. He knows the desire of my heart, so
I
you're
feel
gonna
like
get
you put it there though.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hearing your journey, and like it sounds like there was a point where you went from like believing yourself, which is always the first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a faith thing. I'm realizing I didn't believe in myself until my faith entered me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty interesting to hear a different perspective, because I didn't realize that was my reality.
Yeah.
I thought I healed first and then I found God. No, it was all within the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know who I wanted to be. I really just genuinely did not care about my life enough to think that far ahead.
Yeah.
I just thought who I was who I was. And so it wasn't until I started actually walking my faith journey that I actually started learning who I was.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I didn't lay the foundation. I was reading self-help books to lay the foundation. But what I realized is a lot of the books that I was reading was faith-based, and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And so it was already planting those seeds that were watered throughout my faith journey.
Yeah.
Which brought me into who I know I am. It's not even a thing.
Right.
Who I believe I am. Like I know for a fact I am this person. And it's only going to get better. Yeah. But it's pretty interesting to see how we can have the same outcomes in different lanes.
Yeah.
We have different lanes. We have different audiences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have different outlets in the way we present things. Mm-hmm. But it's all the same outcome. You do right by yourself. Yeah. And you find some kind of progression that's going to take you to where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I always say it's like a domino effect, or it was a domino effect for me. And I wasn't completely like self-aware when I came to faith, but I had started the process. Like I had to hit that point where it was like, this is not who you are at all. Like, you've been living a lie pretty much. And I think I just didn't know what was going on. Like when I first started feeling like, okay, I need to get to know myself. Like I said, I would sit in the car and talk out loud, and I was just talking. I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't even know until months later that I was actually talking to God. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really starting my faith journey then, but I just didn't know it yet. So it sounds like, or it looked like, I had started really genuinely getting to know myself first, but technically it was all intertwined. Like, yeah, I just didn't know.
But I feel like that's what it is. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I always say, like, people have this narrative of God's above, but I always say, if God's above, then that means looking down at you. Yeah. But if he's within, that means he's going through everything with you. Right. I don't want to say he, because I don't want to offend anyone. Mm-hmm. Y'all believe what you believe in. Yeah. I believe in what I believe in. But at the end of the day, it's intertwined. I feel like he is my truest self. Yeah. Because I was made by him, right? Mm-hmm. But he just kind of had to chisel away at what life threw on me. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a pile of clay. You know, you chisel away at pieces you don't want. Yeah. And you become what you're always supposed to be. Yeah. But doing all this in less than 30 years. And mind you, we couldn't talk for like how many years first? And then you go through growing up and child and stuff. So really only like 10 years, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. If that. I mean, yes, technically, but when you put all the situations you put yourself in, it's like, I wasn't growing. I wasn't doing anything really for most of my. Yeah. When you look back and you see how much life you wasted, or not even wasted, but you know what I'm saying. When you feel like, had I been living the way that I'm living right now, all of my 20s, man, there would have been a lot of good stories to tell compared to what I can tell.
I think I needed to be at this point in my life. I think if I was too early in my journey, I would have mishandled it.
For sure.
Just because I needed the hardest moments in my life to happen. Yeah. Like every hard moment that I have, I already found a lesson. Mm-hmm. I've already came to peace with it. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the cheat code of life, coming to peace with everything you've been through. Yeah. So it doesn't have control over you anymore. Honestly, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because I would hate for you to experience something as a child.
Yeah.
And then it triggers you at 30 something.
Yep.
You know, we all deserve to have a free conscience.
I can never say that either. Conscience.
That Jiminy Cricket, like Pinocchio. But yeah, I just want to say life's weird right now, y'all.
Life is weird.
And this and I know, like me, I haven't. To be completely transparent, I haven't been able to watch these episodes.
Mm.
And I think it's going back to when I watch my TikToks videos, I don't know that person. So when I see someone like this talking about my truth, and I don't know this person, it's like outer body experience. And now I'm over here stuttering, so there's that.
I got you.
But life's weird.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it be like this than anything.
Yeah.
And the fact that like now I'm walking a life where people don't even have to question my faith.
Mm.
Like to be able to see me and know because she has faith, I can have faith.
Yeah.
There's been people that's been riding on my faith.
Yeah.
And using my journey as their own. I always say to you, like an authorized user with credit cards.
Yeah.
You know, like someone is borrowing my faith to give themselves enough hope to one day have that.
Yeah.
I remember Mike Todd said one time something about, can someone look at you and be inspired by faith? And he said, I don't want a family tree, I want a family forest. And he was talking about basically how he wants anybody who comes in contact with him to kind of sprout and bloom in their faith and everything just by watching it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Jeez.
The fact that this is my reality now is
crazy. I know
that sounds on TikTok. Does that sound right?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Do you ever feel pressured when people, because you said something about people are leaning on you and your faith and watching you and your faith and leaning on you for theirs?
I've never felt pressure with that. I think it's because in order for me to even get to a point of vulnerability to share it with people, I had to be strong in my faith.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so now, everything happened the way it's supposed to happen, and I can still stand on my faith.
Right.
You can't tell me I didn't hold it.
Right.
Like, have faith the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes, I had moments where I did not, and I faded and disconnected from who I am. I had phases where I was questioning and became disconnected to who I am. And that was because it was triggering every single insecurity that I was trying to avoid. And so when you keep avoiding those insecurities, you're going to get smacked in the face again until you come to terms with it.
Yeah.
But once that happens, the pain of it's gone. Now it's just, all right, now watch. Y'all that know. Now watch.
Ooh. How are you feeling pressured sometimes?
I think that's because you have a bigger platform. I don't know the eyes that are watching me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, obviously, I know the close ones, like my family, or like my students and stuff like that. But I don't know. 50,000. That's like the population of a small city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think where I am in my confidence is a little different. In the sense of, I know that whatever room I'm in, I'm meant to be there.
Yeah.
Whatever platform I'm given, I'm meant to have it.
Yeah.
So at that point, I can't fail. No matter if I think I'm not doing good based on what I think I need to be doing. It's not about me at all.
Right.
It's about what seed am I planting for who.
Right.
And just getting it out. So anytime I'm making a deposit into something, if I don't see it, it's all about teaching yourself how to have delayed gratification. Because it's the instant gratification that makes you trip up.
Yeah.
It's the instant gratification that makes you risk it all.
Yeah.
And the risk might not be worth it. So it's teaching yourself that delayed gratification where it's like, yo, I planted that seed, I deposited it, I'm gonna let it go and grow. Because it's not my job to water it.
Right.
You know? And once you get to that place, the confidence hits different.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, oh, I have to provide this content. It's, oh, well, this message is on my heart. I don't care who sees it. I just got to say it.
Yeah.
Because I have a thing where, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but if I don't get it out, it's going to be an obsessive thought.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
But I think it's just always fun to see where we're going on the same path, but we're also in different phases, but we're also in similar phases in other ways.
Yeah.
Because it's really, it reminds me of, you remember when we were kids and you'd have a string and you make the little.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. It's all one piece of string.
Yep.
But you don't know what's connected to what or what's pulling from what. And so that kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Which it's been so helpful like that too. Like it's so perfect that it's like that, because there's so many times I'm like, that's why a lot of times I'm like, run that back. What did you say? Because it's a word for me. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like where we said it before, like where I'm strong, you lack, where you're strong, I lack type thing. And not every area, of course, but there's a lot of areas where it's like you can lead me, and then there's a lot of areas where I can lead you. Like it just works out.
That's it's a different thing to experience on my end, because I feel like I've always kind of been a lone wolf, just because I've always had phases of friendships, but they always faded. You know, and so to have someone that, in them giving me advice, it's not coming from a place of them wanting to be right.
Yeah.
It's coming from a place of having knowledge or wisdom in it and having good intentions.
Right.
I haven't always had that. I've always had people trying to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
No, you can't prove me wrong with what I know.
Yeah.
I know more about what I know than you know anything about.
Yeah.
You only know what I share with you.
Right.
So the fact that I'm sharing it with you,
yeah,
maybe it's not for me, it's for you. I don't need the advice. I'm secure in it. I'm 10 toes down. But you can pick up off of it. Don't let this short shine, I guess it's a phrase now. But don't let this take away from your teachable moments.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like too many people have too much pride to rather be right than to learn. And I always talk about, like, I've had family members that be like, what do I look like listening to you? Because you're so-and-so to me. And I'm like, you look crazy if you ain't.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely weird. It comes with a worry that, you know, I'm always hypersensitive with how I come off to people sometimes. And, like, I know as long as I'm grounded in who I am, it's not going to ever be disrespectful or anything to anyone. But I became hypersensitive with wondering, because I'm so confident in who I am, do they think I'm trying to shine brighter than how I'm trying to make them shine?
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, my intention is always to spark something. I don't care if it catches fire, as long as I'm sparking it. It might catch, you know. Or if I'm just planting a seed, you might see it, you know. But I don't want people to confuse arrogance and confidence.
Yeah.
I had to work my ass off for this.
Yep.
This was not an easy process.
Yeah.
And to have anyone and everyone speak against something you know, like, and that showed me, like, at the end of the day, I'm the only one that knows what I know. I think it was like someone was spreading rumors about my journey that had nothing to do with it, right? And in that moment, obviously I was upset. But it's like, yo, it's just going to be chatter at the end of the day, you know, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm over here like, well, because I appear this way. Yeah. Instagram and stuff is highlights. Yeah. You know, like this stuff, I got to convince myself sometimes that it's going to happen. Yeah. You know, but you're not going to see that, because if you see that, then you get to feed into it. I'm not giving you that power. I've given too many people too much power. Yeah. I'm in control of my life now. Ooh. And I know the vision that I have. And I know that whatever is for me is going to come to me. So at the end of the day, I just go where I'm supposed to be going and talk to who I'm supposed to talk to.
That was a word.
A word. Sheesh. I'm getting better at this, you guys think?
Yeah. Very much getting better at this. You were so nervous when we started.
I was nervous when we came into here to decorate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm over here, hands in my pocket. I'm like,
I know. Even when we didn't have the camera on.
Yeah.
Just in general.
There was actually a clip where you asked me, like, what are you excited for the pod or something like that? And I was like, I don't know. You were like, you don't know. And I was like, because the camera's on.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm like 6 videos deep on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
Yeah.
But that just shows when you get into alignment, like, you're going to see that instant gratification of the things you want. Yeah. You know, we talked about a podcast top of March, and by the end of March, we're dropping it. That's fast, y'all.
Yeah, it is. A whole line of
let's just think about it. That's only 2 pay periods.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's fast.
Yeah, it is. But when you see it, you see it. You just do it. You ain't got no choice but to do it.
We don't even think about it, bro. That's the
No.
wild thing. And if people are over here like, oh, does this circumstance match what you're talking about? Nah, but it's not my job to figure it out.
Nah, but yeah.
Do I have enough money to move out of state?
God's will is God's will.
I'll find a good box out there, I guess. I don't know.
That's right.
How much is a tent?
I'm not sure.
Probably too much.
Probably too much. Them expensive ones, I don't know.
The one with the little bedrooms.
We wouldn't even
I want
pay
the
for
big
it.
one.
Man.
Look, we could get a 3-bedroom. Me,
bedroom
you, and
tent.
Tristan. Tristan can have his own little.
Oh hell.
I'm kidding.
We down bad. We gotta get a tent.
But I think allowing God to have the creative freedom to your life has been the dopest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Chelsea this, we had a sappy moment. Y'all gonna maybe think she's my best friend or something.
We always have sappy moments. You just be front for the camera.
No, but this week specifically, we were talking about like to have a partner. It's different. It's like, and it sounds gay. Not a gay way, y'all.
Not a gay way. Right? Are you gay?
No.
Okay. I just
I'm
had to
very
make
much
sure.
am in love with men. I like men, so not in it. That's the wrong way. Y'all love who y'all love, you know.
Gosh.
Let us get an invite to the wedding. Just saying.
Ooh, yes, I love weddings.
But to have a partner that can literally, like for instance, her and her son sent me a video of affirmations.
We love doing that.
Bro, I was like over here like, I just put these lashes on, the glue's still a little tacky. You know, like about to cry these lashes off because, like, obviously I've been supported, but to be supported and in the same lane as someone, you know, like where you can, like, I've opened up with you about things that I've never told anyone.
Yeah.
You know, I just met you. I don't even know your middle name.
You don't know my middle name?
I think I do.
I think you do.
Oh,
yeah.
There's an interview. That's what. Never mind. I won't go into it. But yeah, it's wild, and it all starts with having to take that first step, which is the most terrifying step. Now I'm not taking scary steps. Like I'm just kind of leaping and then be like, oh wait, I'm in the middle of the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Champ, I'm still not skydiving.
No, we're not skydiving.
Absolutely no. Not even season 2.
Not season nothing.
Or 36.
God did not sign off on that for me. He did not say go ahead and jump out the sky.
Now listen, all I'm saying is I just said we always talk about something one week and the following week.
I am not doing it.
Actually, I love that illustration. So, wow, the way that just segued, that was beautiful. All right, so Will Smith has a video, and he talks about his experience skydiving, and he talks about how he was like drunk with his friends the night before, and they were all like, "Let's go skydiving tomorrow." They're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea." And then the next morning, they're all like, "It sounds like a horrible idea." And he was talking about how he had so much fear, but nobody was backing down because they didn't want the others to see that they were backing down, right? So they're all afraid to jump out of a plane, as you should be. And he's like over here, like going crazy, just afraid. He said he gets into the plane, and then they're flying. They're like, okay, we're in a plane, cool. But when that door opens, you realize I have never been in a plane with the door open before, right?
Yeah.
And he said when he jumped out, he had pure bliss. He was like, after the initial shock, pure bliss.
Yeah.
And I can see that's the season we're walking into. Like, this is an initial shock where we're like, bro, I don't know how to feel because, one, we've been crying every day.
Yeah.
It's been exhausting because when you never saw yourself reach the points that you've reached, you realize you never knew your capabilities in the first place. And that's just realizing, like, you never knew yourself, even when you thought you did, even when it was in the dysfunction.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how you had pure bliss when you jumped out. Still doesn't mean I'm jumping out of a plane, champ. But the way he wrapped up was basically saying, like, and I realized how much time I wasted on fear. And I feel like that's why we're in a season of acceleration.
Yeah.
Because now we're realizing how much time we spent on fear.
Yeah.
We look back on our lives, and that's what's easy for us to look back on because we trumped that, right? But no, we
Right.
didn't. We still have fears, just in a different way.
Right.
And it's not so much the fear of the unknown, but it's the fear of how much more can I do that I don't know that I can do?
Yeah.
Will I have to constantly learn myself?
Yeah.
Is this not the final form of me? Obviously, we know it's not. But it's like, well, dang, I didn't like how it felt when I didn't know myself before. But it's from a different confidence, a different source. So it's just really, I'm still not skydiving.
I'm still not skydiving. No. But yeah, I feel that a lot lately. And it does get uncomfortable having these conversations nowadays because, like I said, it's right where we are right now.
Yeah.
But no, I do feel that a lot. As in, when we talk about we grow into new individuals like every day. It feels like the days really genuinely feel like weeks. And so I'll wake up and I'm like, I know that I'm constantly evolving, but I always have, or I've been having this like sense of fear, as in, will I like her? You know, like if I'm so, by the time I'm happy and I'm just, walking into who I actually am, it's like that changes tomorrow. And I'm like, dang, I really liked who I was on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Will I like who I am next Tuesday? So, and obviously I will, because I'm constantly evolving and it's constantly for the good, thank God. But that fear has played into it a little bit. Like evolving is just as scary as not.
Yeah.
It's just a different fear.
I think my fear stemmed more from having a place where the sky was not the limit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Where I felt like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
I went to college. I got a degree. I have a career. Is this it?
Yeah.
You hit these milestones and then you start becoming numb to them because you realize that the milestones are just getting you to the real milestones.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now I genuinely feel like the sky is the limit. But it's like, but how many hats do I have?
Yeah.
And then you find out you have a whole walk-in closet full
of them. Yeah.
But that's where I think it's so easy to think about ourselves and get stuck in the unknown or this empty space like that. But that's where my why grounds me. My why is to plant seeds in others that feel like they don't have hope. My why is to plant seeds in others that feel like no one has their back.
Yeah.
I can meet a complete stranger and make them feel like we've known each other for years.
Right.
And that's just because of how secure I am and how secure I am in my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I did not always have that, and I was the person that needed hope.
Yeah.
So I'm becoming the person that I needed for other people, and that's what grounds me. Instead of being a hot air balloon, it's the hot air balloon with the bag on the ground. There's something holding me down.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I feel like anybody can cause anxiety just by thinking of the unknown. It's the unknown for a reason.
Yeah.
But to find something that grounds you in a healthy way, I want to emphasize healthy way because we need to. We're trying to heal, right? And progress. So, in a healthy way, finding something that grounds you is always going to be the cheat code to the unknown, I feel like.
Yeah.
So you don't get too high up there and be like, this is pretty high.
Yeah.
Don't look down. You look down still.
Yeah. And that fear of falling back to where you were. Ooh.
But then you see the safety line.
Yeah.
The safety line's always securing you to the ground.
Yes. If you trust it, you got to be able to trust it.
You got to acknowledge it first.
And then trust it.
See, this is how spiritually we get. Y'all ain't ready for a real life conversation with us.
Man. Oh, all right. Are you want to pull a card? Pop quiz?
Yeah, I was going to say pop quiz because y'all. I feel like that accurately describes like how we're feeling right now. It's just a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay. Tired, but keep on trucking.
Yeah. That's exactly how it's been. And if I had to pinpoint a word, I would say overwhelming. In the best way, though.
Yeah.
Not overwhelming as in, like,
the end of the world.
Yeah. It's not like a scary type of overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting, though. I'm excited to see where we...
Yeah. Stay tuned. Let's do a pop quiz. I don't even know if I'm ready for these questions, to be honest.
Man, I don't even remember what I got. We didn't pick these. We just randomly picked them. I'd like to add that.
She didn't even look at the stack today.
I didn't look at the stack today. She told me not to. What's the most exciting improvement I've been seeing in myself recently?
Fitting. Being able to speak up and use my voice and not hide behind a computer screen or phone screen to type it out.
Yeah.
Putting a face to the words. I feel like a lot of people see what I type out on like Facebook or whatever social media that I have, where they get a glimpse of my thought process, but they don't really get to see the passion behind it. It's words, especially if that's not your love language. That's my love language. And rewatching my videos to realize like that is me now. That's been my first video to this last video. It's like completely two different people.
Even first episode to this episode.
Or even just the little honorary clips that we got in the season, you know. But it also kind of is intimidating that it's like if I had the ability to grow this fast and progress this fast, you realize you're the only anchor holding you down. You know, and that's heavy.
That's really in the book. You're the only one.
Hindsight is 2020. You can find it on our entry.
Look, you better promote naturally. Oh my gosh, I am very proud of you. I mean, I tell you that often. I feel like I tell you that often. And I'm not a words person. I mean, I'm a writer, but I don't show love through words most of the time. Like, not with you. You're a different story. That's what I'm saying. It's surprising to me that I open up the way that I do. And with other people, all the people that I'm aligned with right now, I feel like I open up a lot more than I used to, because I would still show you words. I probably would have texted you when we got home or something. I feel like I'm more vocal now. Like, I'd be like, that was dope. You did that good. Or I'm really proud of you. Or thank you for that. Or I'm more vocal with it nowadays.
I realized that I'm more vocal too. Like last episode, I was like straight up just pouring into you. And I'm like, that's a paragraph I would have wrote. You know, like to look someone in the eyes and be genuine about the words that are coming out of your mouth. That is new. I can't even look at people in the eyes usually sometimes.
It's because you're obsessed with me, I think.
That's why I wear lashes, so I don't have to look her in the eyes. Just kidding.
See, she doesn't mean that.
You set me up, so I was ready to.
Yeah, you be thirsty to tear me apart. All right. Oh, I have to answer this? Do I have to answer it? Yeah, okay. I don't really know what's the most exciting improvement. I've seen... Oh my gosh, this is such a hard question to answer. We see improvement like every daggone day.
Which one's your
favorite? I would say faith-based. Like I've seen my growth in faith tremendously. Like, even just from getting questioned to certain things and that's not making me move, or certain promises that I'm like, I know I experienced this and God promised me this, and even though it doesn't look like it, you know, even when it ain't seeming like this is adding up, and I would question myself, like, am I crazy? Am I tripping? Did I really hear him promise me that? And nowadays I'm more confident in, no, I heard God say that, and so I'm standing on this.
Like it's just not concerning.
Exactly. That's right. So that's been my biggest improvement. Not letting that.
I can't even see that.
You can? Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad. Now I know I'm not crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
So kind of crazy. Just kidding.
You ready for mine? Yes.
Michelle, did you hear that? What do I have to offer in a romantic relationship, and what do I want to receive?
I thought we were about to go this whole episode without talking about.
Yours is also about relationship.
I lost it. I thought that meant we didn't have to talk about it.
Oh, I had it. No, I didn't.
I genuinely don't know where it went. Read it again.
What do I have to offer in a romantic relationship, and what do I want to receive? That's heavy.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and
camera.
I am not going to sit here and give a whole list of what I offer. I don't actually believe in.
I know that's right. I offer everything. I know that's
just saying. I would say the newest thing that I've been working on, or that I've noticed about myself that I bring to the table, is stability, where I don't feel like I did before. Like, I don't feel like I could have been. I wasn't stable mentally my own self to even be able to provide stability in a relationship. And now I know that I can, like, and I also, I need that back. You know, I need stability, as in I need to know that you're not about to switch up, that you're going to, when you say something, you're going to mean what you say. You're not just out here talking, you know, reckless. You're going to mean what you say, and you're going to stand on it. And it's going to be a stable relationship. It's going to be stable no matter what, like, all of it. What? Go ahead.
I want all episodes, I'll say, I think.
Yeah.
What do I have to offer in a romantic relationship? I want to say peace. And as corny as that sounds, because social media plays the mess out of I miss peace.
Yeah.
You gotta, I've realized that I've been in some of the most stressful moments with other people in their lives. Some of the most stressful moments in their lives with them. And they were confused as to why they weren't afraid. You know, and that made me realize that I'm grounded enough in myself that other people can kind of be grounded too.
Yeah.
So peace is a thing. I can bring safety and consistency. You know, like I don't do casual dating. I never really have been a casual dater. So I'm intentional usually with my connections, and even if it's like a situationship or a little sneaky link situation, like I realized that I was still pouring into them no matter who it was, because that's just my character.
You can't help it.
I can't turn that off no matter who it's to. But I know the right person is going to need that and receive that. And I do trust that the process that I've been through and the seeds that were planted in the early season have bloomed into a person that they need in the season that they're going to find. So what do I want to receive? Reciprocity.
I don't even have that word in my vocabulary.
I need them to reciprocate. You know, like I want to feel that safety and confidence and security that what I put in, you're putting into. Yeah. You know, because I've always put too much in.
Same.
And, you know, takers be taken and givers be given. So, I'm in a season where whoever I'm with, I need to know that I'm valued and respected.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah. Why? I have a question. Why do you feel like
nobody said anything but follow-up questions?
Why do you feel like you've always given too much or given more?
Just so everything always stems back to our childhood, per usual, you know. So I realized that, and I often talk to you about this, but me and my dad had completely different love languages. I would say, first off, love languages weren't even a thing when he was alive. But I can identify that where mine is quality time and words of affirmation, his might have been like physical touch and gifts, and that was at the lowest part. So in that season of my life where I was with my dad and he was alive, I always felt neglected because he wasn't showing me that quality time, which is just being in my presence. Yeah. You know, and he wasn't showing me words of affirmation, which is just fill my cup. Yeah. You know, and so that feels like neglect or rejection. And so I realized that as a child, I found myself doing what a child should not have to do, but it was the story and it's fine. It was my truth. But I would always try to overcompensate and train harder or produce in a way that would make him proud. Even though he was always proud, he just couldn't be as vocal. Yeah. You know, and I'm starting to see the similarities between him and another person in my life. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it. But just because someone isn't vocal doesn't mean that they don't feel a certain way. Yeah. Or they don't see certain things. Or they don't appreciate certain things. But as a person with words of affirmation, as a love language, that's what I need. So I need to be able to be filled, not because I need you to complete me, but I need you to complement my life. I need you to validate me in the sense that I'm not in a situation that I've already been in. Yeah. I've done all this work to heal and become this person, and I need to be secure in the knowledge that I'm not going to experience the same things that I have. Yeah. So, yeah, I need security, and I need consistency, reciprocity, all that. That's right. I need a lot. That's why I be scared. Yeah. Not scared. But I feel like a lot of people don't know how to identify what they need, what they want, you know? Well, because they don't know themselves. I didn't know what I needed in a relationship until I knew me. I didn't know until this very moment. You got a lot of realizations in this episode, huh? Man, I feel like I'm being hazed. Never. It's growth. It's all growth. All right, I think that's the episode. What do you think? I think that's a wrap. The song's gotta stop. That's not a song. That was off the dome. That I know. Anyway, where can they follow me? She likes it when I pretend to be her, guys. I even wore my slides today. You can follow her on all social media platforms at All Things See Win. All Things See Win.
I do not say it like that,
Run
bro.
the tape, bro.
I say all
things see.
All things see. I do.
You do, because that just rolled
That
off
shit
your
was natural,
tongue.
yeah. Oh no. I gotta think of a different.
That's how you know we don't watch our own episodes.
I do watch it.
For business purposes, not to like sit and
I don't watch
Why?
the intro. I know the intro. I'm tired of hearing that.
where can they find me?
They can find you.
She is a whole spelling quiz.
All social media platforms, most of them. Right. At Nika J Commodore. Let me spell it for you. NIKAJCOMMODORE. Nika J Commodore. Across all platforms. And where can they find us?
They can find us at The Ironic Pod. The Ironic Pod.
Where?
The Ironic Pod.
No, where? What platform?
All platforms.
That's usually my part.
Instagram, TikTok,
Mhm.
Spotify,
Yeah, they can listen to episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. Did y'all get y'all's book yet?
Man,
Or
y'all
y'all
just
just
trying to fight.
or y'all just knew everything?
We was
Like,
looking like, did you get it?
we gonna pop with you next episode. And I'm excited to see what next episode's about.
Man, I know that's right. All right, that's right.